Hello, welcome to Lady Abimbola Online. Today's segment on health and lifestyle. Thank you for joining me again today. Today, as you can see, we have the beautiful strawberries here. Strawberry is called fragola, in Italian, fragola, and we'll be making a juice, a powerhouse juice, like normal, powerful. Berries are actually very high in nutrients. Like I always do at the end of the video, I will give you the nutritional values of strawberries. Okay, now we just dive right into it. Okay, the first ingredient we're using is strawberry. We'll be using 2.5 apple. Okay, this is half apple, half of the one we used yesterday, so this is 2.5. We'll be using 1 cucumber, ginger, and this ravioli. So we dive right into the situation here. We will be washing the fruit as usual. In this cold bowl of water, we'll be adding some sodium bicarbonate, basically like 1 spoon. You know me, I'm a traditional woman. I don't like you use the spoon and everything. I just calculate with my head. So we had the apple, we had a 2.5 apple, we had the cucumbers, and we throw in the ginger. You put ginger in water because you see, when you keep it in the house, the skin start drying off, but when you put it in the water, it gains back its not the liquid form, but it gains back its freshness. And of course we have also the strawberry, but I will be getting rid of with the strawberry I'll be getting rid of all the, or throwing this in also. Okay, so we get rid of this. Okay, okay, so the strawberries, we get rid of this part and this one that looks like a sieve, because strawberries, when you buy them from the shop, you have to use them immediately, basically. I still want to save some, but okay, we're not using all the strawberries, so we're not using all the strawberries. Okay. 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 So that is that. we'll be saving these ones, but I will wash them too, but I know the ones we're saving, these ones, so I'm going to wash them also, and keep those ones back. The carbonate, sodium bicarbonate will actually help to sustain it a little bit longer, because it will be germs free. Okay, so and for the rest, we'll leave it in the water with sodium bicarbonate for about 3-4 minutes. Let it rest properly inside, and I'll get back to you. Okay. Okay, after 5 minutes, the fruits and the veggies in the bicarbonate, we'll move it to the side, and this is the blending water. Okay, and this is the one we're going to use to sieve at the end of the day. So I have the sodium bicarbonate water with the fruits here, and this water, I'm going to cut all the fruits in this water to blend. Then later we're going to sieve all in here. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, now I have my knife. We start with let's start with the half apple. Okay, like I usually do for apples, what you just do, you just cut away. You just cut away only this part. That's the only thing you get away. The inside, the seeds, it doesn't matter. It can, it can go into the water without any problem. Okay, you can blend this together without any problem whatsoever. Okay. Okay, so we just have this, we call the second apple. Okay, cut this off. And we'll do this also. We cut this off also. Just this part. That's all you need to cut off. Every other thing stays. The seeds inside, everything stays. Okay. So okay, then we cut the strawberries also. Okay, so we have that. Then the cucumbers. You remember the skin of every veggie and fruit is actually edible. In fact, you have more vitamins. We have more nutrients in the skin. So we are using the skin also. Soaking it in sodium bicarbonate also helps, whether it's biologically grown or not. But you see, all these grown veggies, with the situation happening in the world right now, though that's what they say, but are we there? That's the thing. They say it's bao. Are we there? Or bao is, to me, bao is only the fruits and veggies you grow yourself. You actually what you planted it with, and you can actually declare it bao. But with what is happening in the world today, even you're not 100% sure if what you think is naturally grown is naturally grown. Okay, only what you grow yourself is naturally grown. Okay, so anyway, so that's it. So we have all this in the water, and we have the ginger also. But the ginger, I'm going to peel the skin of the ginger. You see that it's you see that it's more. You see that it's more fresher, but throwing it in the water. Okay, it's fresh. And anyway, I bought a very good ginger, so it's dry now because I bought a lot, and I'm using it. I use them regularly. I use it regularly. So I just wash it again because of my hand and the knife. Then we go like that, into small cubes so that it can be easily blended. Okay. So we have this also, last but not the least. This can just be cut into 2 pieces because they're small already. Just 2 pieces, bigger ones and the 3, and that's it. We're through. So right now, let's move on. Okay, so we start blending. Okay. Okay, I think we've blended everything. So this is how much we have here right now. Okay, so that is done. So we now begin to sieve. Okay, we now begin to sieve. I'll put it here so I can, because this part of the sieve is a little bit. So I'm just going to go like that. Then we pour it in. So that's it. With the apples, it will bring a kind of sweetness because apples has a lot of sugar in it. So usually when you want something to be sweet, instead of honey or something, you can just add an apple, okay? That way you would have the natural sugar instead of sugar that actually can gradually create cancer. So over here we'll get the residue there. Okay, so we'll leave the residue at the side, and this one now I'm going to dip it into it to get, okay, that way we'll go faster. So the residue is at the side. I'm going to use the residue to cook. That's what I usually do. I use the residue to cook. It can be soup, it can be sauce, it can be even it can just be beans, after boiling the beans, washing it and washing the protein on it. Or maybe I will just show you one of these days, okay? I will show you. You know what? I will show you how I go about it, okay? Okay. So that's the residue. So even if you take all the liquid out completely or not, it doesn't matter, because you're still going to eat the residue, so it's not wasted. Like you squeeze an orange or something, you don't squeeze it very well. Oh, you see there's still some oranges in it, and it doesn't matter, because it's still going to be useful to make something else. So that's not going to be thrown away, it's going to be eaten. I'm going to make something immediately. That's what I do. But I don't keep it more than 48 hours, okay? Because if it's more than 48, the freshness is gone. So what I can eat out of it within 48 hours, I do that. Otherwise, I throw it just happened a couple of times that I made so much juice, and I could not finish the residue within the time limit I give myself because of the freshness of the residue. So after 48 hours, I threw away the remaining, okay? Even if you keep it in the fridge, it doesn't matter, fridge is not whatever. So anyway, so that's it. So basically, it's very positive, nice to keep yourself healthy, because we're living in the days where things are happening in the spiritual realms, and that is the manifestation of what we see in the physical realm. And we just have to have a sound mind, and we have to have enough of energy and positiveness in us, okay? The Bible says, God has given us, He has not given us the spirit of fear, because in these last days, they're actually creating fear with everything happening, with wars, rumors of wars, pandemic, epidemic, organ harvesting, all kind of craziness. But the Bible says God has not given us the spirit of fear. It's only the devil that is actually releasing the spirit of fear in the heart of man. But God has not given us the spirit of fear, but the spirit of sound mind, the spirit of power, and the spirit of love. So we have sound mind, we have power, and we have love. But we have a right to eat. It's not as if we have it. We have a right to eat. So we just have to walk in our divine authority. Even no matter what goes on around us. You see, Satan is such a cheap loser. He's always is the terrorist in the world, and it's all his children. That is how they behave. They have a terroristic kind of behavior. They like to threaten, they like to harass, they like to lie, they slander people's character. They're just sick. And this way they actually reduce people to submit themselves to fear. So, but if you don't, if sometimes trials of tribulation that when they come, if it doesn't kill you, it will make you stronger. My big sis used to say something. She says that just like the Bible says, they meant it for evil, but God will use it for good. You see, it says in Yoruba, where I come from in Nigeria, I'm originally from Nigeria, and I'm Yoruba, and it says that ikuti obakbani omeni basically it says that the battle ogun tí ò bá pa ni ó mẹ́ni nágbára sí ni. So basically the battle that does not kill people, it will make you stronger. So any battle is thrown against humanity, though the devil meant it for evil, but God will use it for his own good. Though they meant it to destroy, like the story of Joseph. You remember when these brothers, they sold him to strangers as a slave. What does that mean? That decision alone means that they've stripped him of his culture, his identity, and any kind of reference if you're sold as a slave. So when they sold their brother as a slave, that's the height of wickedness and evil you can ever do to somebody. But in this situation, Joseph found favor, even though when he met his brother, they couldn't recognize him again, because now he's a good-looking young man. He's a prime minister in a foreign land. They never thought from a slave he would get from the prison to the palace. They never actually know the power of God. You can do anything you want to people. You lie on them. You try to destroy their character, do all kinds of things to them. But God, in his resurrecting power, he can bring people from prison to the palace. So Joseph's brothers, they never thought he would ever escape in this slavery. They felt they've ruined his life forever. And years after, when he came, they had a plague, they were hungry, they needed help, and it is this same brother they sold that actually gave them shelter, gave them food, and gave them a hope for their next generation. When he saw them, he never accused them. He just said, listen, you don't need to cry or be afraid I'm going to kill you. I'm not going to kill you. Do I have the power to do that now? But you meant it for evil, but God has used it for good. If you never sold me that day, I would not be prime minister today. Maybe the prime minister there wouldn't know you, wouldn't know your forefathers. Don't give anything. They give a hoot about anything about you. They'll probably just not even sell food to you, or maybe not sell enough. But now you have more than enough, and not just more than enough. You can come and live here with me in royalty. So they meant it for evil. God used it for good. You know what? I know sometimes you can find evil, rushing against, you in life, and you find forces of darkness, because gang stalking is not just human beings harassing us. These are satanists, people that have sold their Christ, their life, their soul to Satan. So they harass only people they smell God in them. They don't allow, even though they might label you, they might want to stigmatize your reputation. But believe me, when you find people working so hard to stigmatize one person's reputation, it is far from the truth. That's how you can identify a lot, when they're really working overtime. I've had a situation where, just negativity. People just spewing negativity. This individuals, they're under the control of the Antichrist. Antichrist is things that hate anything Christ. So when they smell the Christ in you, they begin to slander your character. Oh, you're this, you're that. Not because you are that, but because they feel that you have the God they don't have. You have something they don't have. But you see, in the Bible gives us so many reference of so many things, how to be strong in persecution. The book of James says that count it, count it joy when you go through diverse persecution. When we go through diverse persecution, we're not going to diverse persecution because God actually orchestrated it that way. But when the enemy throws in something our way, we have the right to actually be bitter or be better. Be bitter, let anger consume you, or be better. But I believe as a child of God, this is some of the residue. This is 80% of the residue, okay? Because this is getting filled up, so I still have this that I have to sieve, okay? It can also be drunk like that, but in the liquid form is the best. You drink it like water, it's just complete juice. And you can also have some of the residue, so I'm going to fill the normal jug I used to. Okay, we have a full jug here. So with this, we close this up. We close this up, okay? So I'll finish the rest later. So we have a jug of this. I believe we'll be able to get 2 of this jug by the time I finish the whole juice. Okay, so this is your juice. We had ginger, we have apple, we had cucumbers, we had strawberry and ravioli. Okay, thank you for listening to me today again, and I hope of course you enjoyed the little discussion we had also. Okay, so cheers. I'm going to show you what I do with the residue. Now we have a pot. I'm pouring olive oil. That's extra virgin olive oil. I'm pouring enough, okay? And in the olive oil, I'm going to pour chopped onion and garlic, okay? Chopped onions and garlic. With these chopped onions and garlic, I'm going to allow it to okay. So we allow the onion and garlic to cook for a while, and then we pour in the residue. Okay, the residue of the drinks I make. So now we allow this also to cook for about 10 minutes. Okay, so after stirring it together, it smells nice because of the apple. After stirring this together, you can see soaking all the oil. Then I'm going to cover it for about 10 minutes, okay? At interval, I will turn and turn, until it's properly cooked. Then I'll show you. So I will just turn again for a while. Then I like pepper, so I'm going to pour some pepper in it. And so we have the pepper, So now I believe they're all cooked properly. Then we had eggs. So we had the pepper, then we had some salt. Then we mix together. Okay. You can mix the pepper in a bowl if you want, but I'm a traditional woman. And so now we just have to continue to turn and turn and turn until it dries together. Okay, so we added the eggs and we turn until the liquid is dried up. Okay, and that will take some time. So we continue to turn and turn and turn and turn and turn until it dries up. Sorry, I have the cam on one hand. I'm playing with one hand, so just any situation, just pardon me. So you continue to turn and turn and turn this. So this is the rest. It smells so nice. The residue of the apple, strawberry, cucumbers, ravioli, and ginger. So I just added oil with onion and garlic, and after it, I allowed it to cook for a while. I added the residue, that I got from the drink I made in the morning. So I'm just making this also for you to see what I do with the residue. Okay, like now I use the whole residue, so I don't have anything I'm throwing away. So I just have to continue turning and turning and turning until it dries up a little bit. Okay, so while I continue to stir till this dries up, it's drying up a little bit, as you can see. So because I don't want it to completely dry up before I start adding, like this for example, I made this dough with flour, baking powder, water, sugar, and salt. So this now I throw into this. I have egg in it also. I made it with eggs, you can see. Then I just had everything in it. Everything. Okay, so in this egg I now turn, you see, instead of heating bread, which is it actually, if you continue to eat white bread for a while, it gives you diabetic. So I don't eat all this sandwich bread and everything just to keep myself healthy. I make this myself. So instead of eating this egg sauce with bread, this is stirred together with it. It's going to cook together. Okay, while I stir it together with the eggs, okay, it's going to cook together. And right now I'm going to cover it so that also can be cooked properly. Okay, so we have to turn a little bit now. Once in a while we just open and turn. Open and turn a little bit, open and turn. So, and we cover again and let it steam up a little bit. Okay, ready? We then and now allow it to dry a little bit more. I'm going to add more salt. Okay, so we'll wait again a while, for about 5 minutes. So this is the end result. Okay, the residue of this fruit juice, when I made the fruit juice, the residue of the juice is here with eggs, and I have boiled eggs, and I made some dough also instead of bread. This is what I'm going to eat with it. Okay, so this is the dough I made with it, and it's very, very healthy. So bon appetito. Bon appetit. Thank you for joining me. And remember, by His stripes we are healed. Thank you. I'm Lady Abimbola for Lady Abimbola Online. Thank you. Also visit my other line, Melanin and Happy Life. Thank you. Bye. God bless you.